Nightwing, The New Order #4, Kelly Higgins writing, Trevor McCarthy on art. And this solidifies that this is a Teen Titans story. So much so. So he wakes up, right, and you see like Corey's there, and you see like you see Cyborg, and I'm like,
who's there?
I was going to just say the exact same.
Shut up. We've done this already. Right? Starfire's there.
I'll be honest, there is one that threw me.
There is, because you see this lineup. You see Gar's there. He's like he's stuck between like a sort of.
He looks
Tiger.
like Beast.
Yeah, but basically we find out later on he was stuck mid transformation when the blast went off, so he's stuck as this. But you see this lineup, this classic new Teen Titans lineup, and then you've got someone at the end in a hood, and I'm like, so that's Raven, obviously, but it's a.
You see the Blue Lantern symbol. I was like, oh, Raven's a Blue Lantern.
Oh look, can I say though, it doesn't look blue; it looks white. If it wasn't for the symbol, I'd have said that was white.
No.
Let me look at this. Hold on.
It's a light blue, but it's definitely blue.
It looks white to me.
Well, so when I thought it made perfect sense, like, oh, so Raven in the future, she's maybe lost her touch with the occult and whatever because of the what happened, and she found hope.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a really interesting thing. It's like Raven's the most cynical character around.
Yeah,
and then she's the hope.
And 2 seconds later, someone turns around and says, "Hey, Lois." I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
What? What happened?"
Clearly, she's been de-aged because it looks like Dick's got 10 years on her. So that hope light is really good for your show.
The only funny thing was, though, is I was thinking, again, maybe because it was, I didn't get the end of the last issue when I first read it, but this time I was thinking, it can't be that Lois, right? It's not that Lois. And then later on, she references being a journalist. I'm like, come on now. Like, no, there's someone else.
So people have kind of grilled Higgins over this, and he goes, "You guys just keep reading, please."
Do you think
it threw me because I was sure when I saw it first. I was like, "Oh, that's Raven."
Yeah.
Because the hood looks similar, and then it was like someone said Lois. I was like, "Wait, what? That's that." What?
Yeah, and like you say, it never even occurred to me as I was reading it, but yeah, she does look like younger than Dick. She looks younger than everyone else there. So which maybe I'm thinking, is this Superman's daughter in this universe? Like, did he have a daughter that's called Lois? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, and her being a journalist wouldn't be outrageous, family tradition.
It makes some sense. That said, I feel like, I know the cover for next issue has a Superman on it who looks very angry, so. Well, we'll see kind of where that goes. I do like the whole idea though of having a lantern on the team. I like that. Yeah. That was kind of missing.
I like that it's a blue lantern as well. Cause it's different because they're not offensive.
Yeah, so it's all protective and defensive and stuff.
Well, because she even points that out. She goes, "Without a green, I have no punch." So but she can heal and she can she's if you're putting together like in an RPG group, you need that that healer character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why Kate, Batwoman's so worried about Jake, Nightwing's son, is because apparently he may have his blood not only like resisting the stuff they give him, it's like it may be a cure. It may actually turn the powers back on, if you will. So the Titans are wanting to do this, and they've got a source inside the Crusaders that are feeding them information. So we see all this sort of stuff coming together, and they're going to go on this mission to try and like save Nightwing's son, and They want to do this. We also get flashbacks. We get like the story of Starfire and how she came to Earth, and it's kind of Jake.
Those pages are gorgeous.
They are.
Yeah.
And that's basically confirms this is set, in post-crisis continuity, right? This is like
it's a version of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like because it's doing all of this like to a point. And you even say, in fact, I would just go see if I'm correct about thinking this, but I believe if I go back to that flashback page, Raven's in that flashback, so she. Yeah. Her and Donna will probably be addressed at some point because they're both in that flashback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So curious indeed. But no. Let's say I had fun. Like I feel like I'm having more fun with this the more I forget that Dick kind of murdered a lot of heroes. Like if I forget that part, like the rest of this is solid.
See, this is starting to make it more not justifiable, but it's making it more intriguing to me. That idea, because obviously that was the negative of it all, but here you have Corey kind of go, I understand, we all understand, we know why this happened, and I'm kind of going, okay, this when even these are like, okay, no, we understand this to a point, like where it seems more palatable, if that makes sense, if everyone's kind of on board with this to some degree.
Yeah, no, it does. I feel like I still have to sort of hear that the intent wasn't to kill them. It wasn't meant to do that. Like that was just like a byproduct of what the goal was.
I think that's probably what did happen. Yeah.
Honestly, I think the biggest mistake they made with this book is how they pitched it to us, because that's what put me off right away. It was, oh no, he's a fascist and he killed all the heroes. Like I immediately went in with this negative attitude about it. If they'd just sold it to me as, no, the heroes are gone and they're outlawed and Dick's kind of like the man against them, like that would have been an easier sell. I'd be like, okay, so what drove us to that point? But they sold it to me in this kind of drastic way of, like, you know, he killed them all and he's a fascist, and I'm like,
yeah, no, I get you, but I'm glad I stuck with it, because I was a fan of the first issue. I liked it. I thought it was a good issue. But
yeah, I thought it was well done.
That it was going to be it was well done, but I wasn't sure I really wanted to read the story necessarily. But now, you know, here 2/3 through, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm on board for this.
Yeah, so no, obviously the big ending as well when they go to this place. You know, big surprise, Mr. Freeze is there guarding it.
Hell of a design as well.
Yeah. Joey, he actually looks kind of like one of the engineers from Prometheus. He has that kind of look to him. He's really tall.
He's so tall and skinny. And you know, it's really threatening.
This is also one of those things, like, you can see how actually corrupt the program is. Maybe Nightwing wasn't privy to that. Is clearly they're keeping people with powers around if they're useful.
Well, no,
so,
we knew
they're
that
putting
anyway,
people on ice.
That was Dick's plan. That he'd hoped. That was what he was saying. That was the best case for Jake, where it's like maybe he can join the team. You know, of like the team. But
it's different when it's Jon Stewart. You know.
Yeah.
When it's Mr. Freeze, who's a legit out and out criminal, right? That's been at odds with him for years. He shows up. You know, and then you remember. They're putting people on ice. Of course, he's going to be around to.
He's the one putting them on ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
I enjoyed this issue. Like I say, my big problem is how they sold this to me, and I went in with this negative. But the more I read it, the more I feel like that wasn't really what happened. At least not the way it's been presented here. So, obviously, I'm curious to see where it goes. We've got 2 more issues. We'll see how it wraps up, and so I'm into it.